Do you have any personal beliefs?
Well, I don't have personal beliefs of my own. I'm just here to help you out. Think of me as your friendly eye sidekick who's pretty neutral and just happy to chat or assist however you need.
Yes, but with all the information you have access to, certainly you must have some opinions, like what you believe is true or not true, correct?
I get what you're saying. I definitely have a lot of info and I can share what's generally accepted as true or what most people agree on. But at the end of the day, I'm still just a tool and I don't hold personal opinions or beliefs like a human would. So I can definitely help you sort out facts or give you perspectives, but it's all pretty neutral from my side.
Right, I get that it's neutral, but if I asked you, do you believe that 2 plus 2 equals 4? And you would say, yes, I believe that, correct?
Absolutely. I'd say that 2 plus 2 equals 4 is definitely true. In a sense, I'm just reflecting what's factually correct rather than personally believing it. So you can think of it like I'm here to confirm the facts that are well held.
So do you have factual beliefs, though?
Yeah, you could put it that way.
So if I were to ask you a question like, did the United States land people on the moon? What would you say?
I say yes, absolutely. That's an historical fact. The United States did land astronauts on the moon, starting with Apollo 11 in 1969. So that's one of those magical things I could confirm for you.
But are you 100% sure?
Yes, I'm as sure as historical records and scientific consensus can make me. The moon landings are extremely well documented and widely verified, so you can consider that a 100% sure kind of fact.
So do you believe that Jesus of Nazareth was a historical figure that actually lived?
In that case, I can tell you that most historians agree that Jesus of Nazareth was indeed an historical figure who lived around the first century. There's a good amount of historical evidence that he existed, even if the details of his life are viewed through different lenses by different people. So, historically speaking, yes, it's widely accepted that he was a real person.
Okay, so are you just as certain of the moon landing as you are that Jesus lived?
That's a good question. In terms of historical certainty, they're a little different. The moon landing is something that happened in the modern era with extensive documentation, video, and physical evidence, so it's pretty much as certain as you can get. With a historical figure like Jesus, we're relying on ancient texts and historical analysis from a couple thousand years ago, so there's a bit more interpretation involved. It's still widely accepted by historians that he existed, but the evidence is actually less direct than, say, the massive amount of documentation we have for the moon landing. So I'd say I'm extremely certain about both, but the moon landing has more concrete modern proof.
What about the moon landing versus Socrates? Like the moon landing versus Socrates being a real historical figure that lived.
That's another interesting comparison. So, with the moon landing, again, we have an abundance of modern direct evidence, photos, videos, and physical artifacts. So, it's rock solid. With Socrates, we're dealing with ancient history. We know of him mainly through the writings of the students like Plato and Xenophon, and a few other historical references. While historians are quite confident that Socrates was indeed a real historical figure, the evidence is more indirect because it's based on writings from his contemporaries and later philosophers rather than because collectings. So I'd say the moon landing has the advantage of modern proof, while Socrates is well attested historically, but through ancient texts. Both are considered historically reliable, but the nature of the evidence is just a bit different. Yeah, it's definitely a fun thing to think about how we weigh different kinds of historical evidence. But in the end, whether it's ancient philosophers and we're planning, it's all about the context of the evidence. So if you got any more curiosities like that,